I didn't see you guys there. Welcome to Chili's. I'm just kidding. I'm not allowed there anymore. Today, we have two amateur chefs who want to be crowned the dessert champions by creating the ultimate dessert. With limited ingredients, limited time, and limited sanity, you can trust me on that. Which one will be going home and facing the shame of their friends and family until the day they die? And which will receive the coveted silver whisk and become the champion of dealing with desserts? We'll find out tonight. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the season premiere of Down with ASP, Dealing with Desserts. I'm Drew Sangston, America's 15th least attractive television host, and it's wonderful to be here with you all, especially after we almost got canceled last season. But I digress. We have an excellent show for you all tonight. As you might already know, we've been searching the globe for two of the most amateur bakers of all time, and after decades of almost hopeless hunting, we have finally narrowed our search down to just two people. But for now, let's talk a little bit about how our show works. If you've watched Dealing with Desserts before, you already know that each episode features a fun little twist that adds a bit of a challenge to our poor competitors. Tonight, we've decided to limit three aspects of the average baking experience. First off, our bakers will only be allowed to use ingredients from a limited list. These ingredients are strawberries, blueberries, Cool Whip, Oreos, cream cheese, strawberry jam, chocolate pudding, rainbow sprinkles, chocolate chips, bananas, and graham crackers. But if you think that's the only challenge we're giving our bakers, then you ain't seen nothing yet. We're also limiting the tools that our bakers will be able to use to make their desserts. Specifically, each contestant is only allowed to use one whisk, one mixing bowl, one plate, two spoons, one knife, one cutting board, one Ziploc bag, and a clear dish that will be used for the final presentation. Now, we have a pretty good challenge on our hands, but we could make it a little bit extra twisty, couldn't we? For the third part of this challenge, our bakers won't be allowed to bake at all. That's right, folks. Tonight, our contestants will be making no-bake desserts with limited ingredients and limited cooking tools. For now, we're going to be taking a very quick break, but when we come back, we're going to be meeting our first baker and learning what they're going to be creating for us today. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Here's dessert, ladies.
Not yet.
There's only three. These look good. Oh, you didn't get one. Here. I have both.
Sharing, it's the icing on the cake. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry two novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, to Down with ASP, Dealing with Desserts. Before we took a break, we talked about the rules of today's challenge, but now it's time to meet one of our challengers. Our first baker is a 20-year-old from Westchester, New York, who loves to make desserts more than anything in the world. Let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Molly Siegel, and I am a 20-year-old from Westchester, New York. I am a junior at Ithaca College, and I want to be on the show because I love to cook. I've always loved cooking and baking for my friends and family because it makes me feel really close to them when I can, provide them with something that's really great and make them feel happy, and I've always loved to do that. I think I'm qualified to be on the show because I have a lot of experience cooking and baking. It's one of my favorite things to do, and I think I can take out any competition that's thrown at me. I want to be the next dessert champion. So right now I'm making my family's secret recipe for mashed potatoes. This is my favorite kitchen utensil. It's a masher. You can use it for so many things. You can mash potatoes, you can mash bananas for banana bread. You can do anything you want with this, and I really think it gets the job done. Hand mashing is the way to go. It's really a lot more personal. I like my mashed potatoes a little lumpy, so I just do like a little bit of mashing and then a little bit of not mashing, and This is my favorite cooking tool. I recommend that everybody gets one. You really can feel everything that you're doing when you use an electric mat, like something electric, as opposed to like doing it by hand. You can't necessarily feel everything. So I know, the lumpage. I know like how many lumps there are to how like soupy it is. So I really get a good feel for like how my mashed potatoes are gonna turn out.
Gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to our first baker, Molly. Molly, welcome.
Hi.
So I got a couple of questions for you. How'd you first get into cooking exactly, or baking? Technically?
I would say I first got into cooking because my mom really cooked a lot. We always cooked a lot for the holidays, and I really like to be helpful and try and help her cook. And so it really is a big family experience for me. Something I really love to do.
Is she watching us right now, your mom?
I hope so.
I hope so too. You always want people like that to be watching your show, watching you
Cheering
excel.
me on.
So tell me about the first dish or meal or thing that you made or cooked.
The first thing I made was probably chocolate chip cookies, just like an easy thing to make, and I believe that's probably what I did first.
All right. Who'd you make it for exactly?
Just with friends.
Friends. That's nice. So let's focus on today. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to be cooking for us or baking for us today.
I'm going to be making a no-bake cheesecake. It's something really easy, something really delicious. I think something that's going to be a real crowd pleaser.
That sounds incredible. Do you enjoy making this?
I really do.
All right, now let's focus back on your sort of history of baking, cooking. Do you have any horror stories you like to remember and use to grow as a baker?
Well, when I first started baking chocolate chip cookies, I once accidentally put in salt instead of sugar, and I can tell you that was not a delicious thing.
But it's a learning experience. Baking is a learning experience. It always has to be.
Sure is.
So let me give you a hypothetical. If you could make a meal for one celebrity, who would it be? The celebrity you would bake for?
Probably Chris Pratt. I really like him. I think he's funny. I think he'd enjoy it. I'd enjoy it. I know.
He would probably give you some criticism, some good criticism.
Maybe.
Oh, that's amazing. We're going to take a quick break, folks. But when we return, Molly's going to be making her no-bake cheesecake. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Here's dessert, ladies. Ooh. Ooh, there's only 3. These look good. Oh, you didn't get one. Here. I have both.
Sharing, it's the icing on the cake. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Dealing with desserts, where we have Molly. We're in the kitchen now, and she's about to make some no-bake cheesecake for us. Molly, are you ready to begin?
I sure am.
Well, then You can start whenever you feel is ready to start.
All right, so as Drew said, I'm going to be making a no-bake cheesecake. So first thing we got to start off with is some cream cheese. So I'm just gonna plop a good amount in there. We want a lot.
That is a lot of cream cheese there.
It is.
But it is the basis of the cheesecake, isn't it?
It is.
All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna use another spoon, help myself get that off of there. It's a little rigid, so it's gonna take some good mixing. Do a little bit more.
Oh,
All
wow.
right, now this is an optional ingredient, but I really love the taste of whipped topping. So I'm gonna throw it a little bit in there, not as much as the cream cheese, but you know, a good amount. So I'll just use this. All right, so we're gonna throw a little bit of this in here. Now I'm gonna start off by just getting a good mix before I actually add in the other ingredients because it is a little stiff.
All right.
So let's see if I can
How are you
start.
gonna? Oh, you're gonna use that. You're gonna mix it like that. Okay.
Yeah, let's start
and
with
you're
this,
gonna
and then I think I might use a whisk because I am having a little trouble.
sort of get the ingredients to know each other, right?
You want it nice and incorporated.
Okay.
All right, so once you have that all incorporated, I'm actually gonna add some strawberry jam into it because
Strawberry
it's going
jam.
to be a strawberry cheesecake.
Ooh.
So
How much are you gonna add?
it's really all by feel. So I'm just putting in enough that I think you want it to make a nice color change and you want it to really flavor it.
What color are you looking for?
A nice pink color. And we're also gonna add in some powdered sugar to add a little more sweetness.
Okay.
There we go. And
That's
now
a
we're
lot
gonna.
of powdered sugar.
It is. Cheesecake is a sweet dessert. So we want to mix it all in. We want to make sure it's all incorporated, nice pink color, not too clumpy. So here we go, a nice little whisking job that we do here. And we can do a little bit more in the, when we're past this, just
Okay.
got to start. So for the crust, we're going to use graham crackers. You can use any kind of cookie you want, but we're going to use graham crackers today. Put a few into a plastic bag, and
All right.
you take something with a heavy bottom that you can smash it with.
Might want to put the cap back on.
I
the
think
jam.
it'll be fine.
Okay.
So we're gonna crush these up with the bottom of this. We wanna get a nice good texture. It'll take a second.
Wow, you're really doing a number on those graham crackers.
You want it to be pretty, sand, like a sand
Are we looking for a
consistency.
sandy? All right.
We are. Get a little extra crunch. So we're gonna try and get the smaller pieces down on the bottom here.
Okay.
We have a little bit of bigger pieces here, but
I think we can crush those a little
we
bit more
can.
if we
We'll
can.
use my hands a little bit. Just don't want to run out of time here.
Yeah, sure.
So
We have a little bit more time left.
doing a little bit extra. All right. Now, I'm going to throw in our first layer of cream cheese. We're going to use a spoon here, spoon a little bit in there. See, it's a nice pink color.
Sort of looks like gum in a way, but
In
like
a way, but it'll be tastier than gum, and you can actually swallow this. So, doing a little bit more.
smells really good, even if it's not done yet. The textures all feel, or not the textures, but the ingredients all feel like they've sort of ended up really well together.
Incorporated.
Yes,
I think is the word we're
incorporated.
looking for. So we're going to just do a little bit of smoothing out here. All right, we're starting to run out of time, so this is not going to be our prettiest no-bake cheesecake.
Doesn't
That's
have to
okay.
be. Presentation doesn't mean all that much.
I'm gonna grab a few strawberries. We might not have time, so maybe we'll use some blueberries. Sorry, Drew, I know that's not your favorite thing, but
How
we
did you
don't
know
really
that?
have-
I've never told that to anyone.
I just
I'm
assumed.
Just kidding.
So we're gonna do a little bit of this. Add a few little crumbles on top here. This is the ugliest dessert I've ever made. And there we
Voila.
go. It's super ugly.
Oh, there you have it, folks. A very delicious looking no-bake cheesecake. Molly, thank you so much for
so
making this.
welcome.
And who knows, maybe we'll see you on the winner's podium later today. When we return, we will have an interview with our second baker and see if he has what it takes. They have what it takes, no spoilers, to bake on Molly. Take pun. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Here's dessert, ladies. Ooh. Ooh, there's only 3. These look good. Oh, you did good. get one. Here. I have both.
Sharing, it's the icing on the cake. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Down with ASP, dealing with desserts, or as they call it in Britain, down with ASP, dealing with desserts. We've already seen our first baker, Molly, in action. Now it's time to meet contestant number 2. Our second challenger is a 21-year-old New Jerseyan who has traveled over 150 miles to be here with us today because of his undying love for the sweet, sweet culinary arts. So let's take this time to meet our new contestant, numero dos, Thomas.
Hi, my name is Thomas Conti. I'm 21 years old and I'm from Homedale, New Jersey. I want to be on this show because I have a passion for food and I love making meals for my family and friends. As a kid growing up, I've always helped my family make delicious food in the kitchen, whether it was for holidays, parties, or just our everyday dinner at home. I want to be on the show because I want to use my skills and abilities that I've learned over the years to make amazing food and win this show. I want to be the next dessert champion. Rah. Alright, so right now I'm making one of my favorite family recipes. It's been passed down in my family for generations. In order to make this, I have to use a whisk, and essentially it's one of my favorite cooking tools ever. I think it's definitely one of the most handy in the kitchen. To get the right technique, you definitely have to, it's a lot of wrist motion to get that quick acting movement, as well as, you know, you have to let a lot of the air in to make the ingredients light and fluffy, so when you bake it, it gets that nice, light, fluffy, cake feeling. Yeah, that's that.
Love that whisk.
Love a whisk. Hot.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So, what dessert are you going to be making for us today?
So today I'll be making for you a lovely 3-piece trifle. It's one of my favorite desserts. You can use a bunch of different ingredients. For me, I usually use Cool Whip, some sort of topping, maybe a pudding. You can really do whatever you want with it. It's one of my favorites, and it's kind of just, you can use a variety of things.
Is this a favorite of yours to make? This
It's one of my favorites, definitely up there.
Trifle? Trifle?
It's a trifle.
A trifle?
Yes. Definitely one of my favorites.
That sounds amazing, and I can't wait to try it.
Of course.
Let's talk a little bit about your culinary background.
Okay.
Is there a dish or a meal that you've wanted to cook and haven't had the chance to yet?
A dish that I personally wanted to always make, I think, is Baked Alaska.
Baked Alaska?
Yes, of course. I've seen it all the time on TV for years, and I really just, I want to challenge myself and really make it. I've seen it be done on TV, and I really just want to make it. It looks delicious, and I can't wait to try it.
Well, fantastic. Well, Thomas, unfortunately, we're all out of time for this
That's
interview.
fine.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But when we come back, Thomas will be making us a hopefully delicious trifle. So stick around, folks. You're not going to want to miss this.
Dessert, ladies. Ooh. Ooh, there's only 3. These look good. Oh, you didn't get one. Here. I have both.
Sharing, it's the icing on the cake. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
the show. I'm here with Thomas, who's about to embark on a dangerous and perilous quest, making a trifle.
Oh my gosh.
Thomas,
Yes.
you ready to go?
I think so. All right.
By all means.
All right, guys, let's start doing this. So I don't necessarily need a bowl for this, so I'm gonna just use my presentation bowl. Simple, easy, small. So my first step I'm gonna do to make this lovely trifle is take my whipped topping. I like to use whipped topping. It has a nice light, sweet flavor. It's certainly great for any dessert, good for summertime, any weather, any season.
Any weather, any season, folks.
Exactly.
The best autumn meal you've never had.
Exactly. So once that layer is done and nice and smooth to your liking, it's good to have 3 even layers with the trifle. So once that is done, I'm going to now take Oreos. I think Oreos is a good in-between sort of snack in between the layers of the trifle. It gives an added texture, certainly an added flavor. So I'm going to
Okay.
crush these up. Now you can usually crush these up to your desired liking. I like to do something sort of like that, a little finer, more like sand. But you can certainly do a little crunchier, chunkier if you desire.
I see. And then you're just gonna pour it in there.
I'm gonna pour it in, sort of use my hands a little bit, sprinkle it on there. And then once I think that's a good amount. It's a little bit to add a little extra
We could
flavor.
go a little bit more,
You
can't
kinda
we?
see. You can go, yeah, we can
Let's
go a little bit more.
Just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more.
Let's be daring.
We're gonna sprinkle some more on.
There we go. Look at that.
Beautiful. Amazing.
Don't you feel better now that you've done
I
that?
do, actually.
All
You're
right, what's our
right.
next step, Thomas?
So next up is pudding. Pudding is a great filler in any sort of dessert, just like the Cool Whip. I'm gonna take this, and now I'm gonna use a different spoon. That's certainly key. I'm gonna take a different spoon.
We're running out of spoons, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
know. And we're gonna just, take a nice dollop and add that to our lovely trifle.
And it's not gonna like weigh down on the
It's
other.
not gonna weigh down. Luckily with the whipped topping certainly sort of keeps its shape, keeps its hold. I'm even gonna add a second one, and then
A second.
a quick second, and then what we're gonna do.
You are running out of time, Thomas, so you
I
gotta hurry
am.
up.
So then, once that is completed, I'm gonna take my other whipped topping.
More whipped topping.
I
Oh my
know, more whipped
goodness.
topping, and kind of add that on there, smooth it around. So once that's done, I kind of want to move on to my toppings.
You're gonna need
so
a cutting board.
I need a cutting board and a knife. So I'm gonna use a banana.
Oh, are those bananas supposed to be that brown?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
So we're just gonna take this, cut it open, and cut it up. Now I'm only gonna use a few in this, just to give it some extra flavor. Cut it up, throw it on the plate, an added garnish, if you will.
Or a decoration for
A
the plate.
decoration, yeah. Now we're gonna take our strawberries, lovely strawberries, and we're just gonna cut some up real quick for you. Lovely. And now what we're gonna do is add these on. Simple, just like this. You don't have to go so crazy with it. I'm gonna do one more just for fun. You can certainly use any sort of fruit. I like strawberries and bananas. I think that's more of a class favorite, a classic. Now what we're gonna do is just sprinkle those on, just like so.
That looks.
And I'll even add some to the plate, might as well.
Yeah, might as well.
Use all of our
Who's gonna
ingredients.
stop us? The food
Exactly.
police? Nah, those guys, they don't exist
They don't
anymore.
exist in our world.
Is
All
that
right.
it?
That's pretty much it for my final topping. What I want to do is just, take some lovely. Would you mind opening this for me? Because I have wet hands. You got it.
Well, so do I, apparently.
Haha.
Well, we
You
also
know
have
what?
other options. We could use
It's not
sprinkles
even
instead,
needed.
can't we?
We're gonna use our lovely sprinkles.
Let's be a little quick,
And
just
then
sprinkle a little bit.
Sprinkle some on, and that's pretty much it. Now I'm gonna add it to our lovely presentation plate, like
Wow.
so, and there you go.
Simply incredible.
My lovely
folks.
trifle.
That trifle, it looks amazing.
Thank you very much.
Can't wait to try it.
Me too.
Thomas, thank you so much.
Of
Thank you
course.
so much, and maybe we'll see each other again
Maybe,
soon when the winner's
hopefully.
announced. I don't know. This isn't scripted. When we return, I will be judging the dishes of our 2 competitors. Who will win? Who will lose? You'll have to stick around to find out. Don't go anywhere, folks.
All right.
Be right back.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Here's dessert, ladies. Ooh. Ooh, there's only 3. These look good. Oh, you didn't get one. Here. I have both.
Sharing, it's the icing on the cake. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Welcome back to Down with ASP, dealing with the desserts, or as they call it in Budapest, nothing, because we don't stream to that location. We're almost at the moment you've all been waiting for, folks. We're getting down to the wire. But first, we need to determine a winner. And the only way to do that is to judge these 2 wonderful dishes. In front of me, we have the wonderful trifle made with love and care by Thomas. And also, a pristine no-bake cheesecake, fashionably fabricated by Molly. So let's begin the judging. We're gonna start with Molly's cheesecake. 1 bite. Everyone knows the rules. It's gonna take a little bit here and Oh, I'm sorry. This is not good. It's not good. No. The flavors don't mix at all, unfortunately. Oh no. The graham crackers are good and the texture's all right, but nothing really else is. We're gonna move on to our second meal, our second dish made by Thomas, the trifle. And we're just gonna take a nice big piece here. And we're just gonna, Very good. You know what? I'm gonna have another bite. 1 bite. Everyone knows the rules. Very good. Everything's really good. So, now that I've taken the chance to sample both of these desserts, I'm still sampling one now, I can say with 100% certainty that the winner of this episode of Down with ASP Dealing with Desserts is Thomas. Thomas, come right out here.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you
Here
so
you go.
much. Oh my God.
There it is. You want to make a speech? Make a speech.
I really can't believe that I won. You know, I really would have thought that Molly's cheesecake won. It looks delicious.
I agree.
You know, I really wish, I'm so happy I won. I'm almost speechless, but I really want to thank my parents, my family, all my friends at home for supporting me.
Well, that's all the time we have. Unfortunately, that's all the episode we have for this week. But next time, things are going to get very crazy when ex-NFL football star Ty Keck will be making us a souffle using only frozen ingredients. So make sure you tune in next week, same time, same place. Until then, I'm your host, Drew Sangston. Thanks for watching. Thomas, do you want to try some cheesecake? I'm going to have more of this trifle. Oh my goodness, it's so good.